What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Boys, I mean, I don't want to say it's confirmed that the Saints are 12-5 playoff, Super Bowl contender, but it's not confirmed. That was as perfect of a preseason game as you could have. Jake, are you officially on the Derek Carr bandwagon now?
It was a nice preseason one game. It was very nice. Looked very efficient. Offense looked great. Michael Thomas caught a pass. That's always good to see.
Yeah.
Trevor
Sliding
Penning
pass,
played.
Badass pass.
That's always good to see.
And he looked good.
Yeah, so,
He didn't have a false start, but he looked good.
He did have that. Keith Kirkwood's back for his – how many times has he been with the Saints?
Since 2018. Many times.
He just shows up sometimes.
Look at him right there.
You know what I mean? And
Look
not
at him
in a bad
get up,
way.
scored a touchdown right now.
Like, this is no shade. He shows up.
Yeah.
He's like sometimes like, oh yeah,
KK.
Oh yeah, Keith Kirkwood's on the team.
AK and KK, the legendary black and gold connection.
If we're talking about things we're like honestly excited about,
I'm honestly excited about everything, but continue.
A.T. Perry.
Yep. 6 catches, 70 yards, tud.
I told y'all when I was in Kansas City, we were getting towards the end of the third round, and I look over to EJ on air, and I'm like, how has A.T. Perry not been selected yet? Because he's an ACC guy, and he's like, I don't know either. And he didn't go to what, the fifth?
The 6.
Oh,
Yep.
sixth.
Yeah. The problem is he has to beat out Keith Kirkwood.
What? Well,
That's all I'm saying.
that's all fair and good, but
I think
you have
Kirkwood's
6
probably-
for 70.
Yeah, 6
It
or
would end up
70 and a
being
touchdown.
and Tud. That's a good start.
It's a good start. Yeah, I think right now receiver probably scores Olave Thomas, Shaheed, then Traquan, and then Kirkwood and A.T. Perry. So how many do you keep? 5 or 6? I actually have that as one of my huge
So
overreaction takeaways that A.T. Perry's making the team. We get a lot of huge overreaction.
But I honestly, I don't think that's an overreaction. I think it's the player that, for whatever reason, slid in the draft. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't say it before. I've thought that since the draft in May. Like, he was a player that was a third-round talent, and he goes that late into the draft. Now, again, like, you never know exactly what the red flag is there, but just based off his play. And then he goes out there his first game and looks really good. So one thing, though, I did feel bad for, because I've been in this situation. My man Jamal Williams out there with the bomb squad.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
That man led the NFL in touchdowns last year, and he was out there with the bomb squad.
Hey, them's the breaks, dude. You're getting paid good money, is what it is. You gonna get your carries. AK's out for 3 games. That said,
Like, he was a better player than AK last year.
yes, but I was about to say, that said, one of my huge overreaction takeaways is that Alvin Kamara is certifiably back. He looked very
If you
good.
know how to use him, he's back.
Yes.
I say that about Jamal being better because they did not use him correctly. They're trying to make that man run in between the tackles.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, that's why you go sign Jamal Williams.
And it looked like, they looked like they were a bit more creative offensively. They got AK in a good spots. I mean, the AK screen game should be the deadliest in the entire league potentially, and he had that very nice screen in which Eric McCoy had a beautiful block leading the way downfield. I mean, look, we could be tongue-in-cheek about it, and yes, Black Gold the Super Bowl is tongue-in-cheek, which I was shocked. I saw Kay Gates. I never knew who sang that song. I thought it was Kevin Gates. Mario disabused me of that notion before the show today, saving me some potential embarrassment. But, yeah, so look, I mean, I'm coming in here having a little bit of fun with it, but like, in all honesty, it was as good as your starters can do in a preseason, and it was against the other starters. So, like, small sample size, yes, but I'd rather you do good in that small sample size than us come in here and have to be like, well, Derek, it was like, it was weird. The offensive
If you're like a
line didn't
Panthers
play
fan
well.
or a Rams fan,
Yes.
you watch some of those preseason contests, you're like, oh boy.
And you're like, well, Bryce Young's
Texans.
young, CJ Stroud with the Texans.
Yeah.
Even though I loved the takeaways, of course, after the Texans game the other day, it was like, is CJ Stroud a bust? And that's just what we do because we're insane. But no, yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, it felt, I'm not exaggerating, that felt like the Breeze era. Like, that felt like Derek Carr is a franchise quarterback. I mean, just look at all the different receivers. Hey, here's the quote that he had, and tell me this doesn't feel breezy, not breezy. Quote, everybody's catching the ball. First place for Chris, then we go to AK, we find Jawan, then we find Mike. You know, everyone's touching, and all of a sudden Keith gets a touchdown. So everyone did the cardio, and Keith got the reward. Hopefully our guys understand that's just how we're going to have to play if we're going to do the things we want to do, if we can do that and spread it out evenly. So I feel like in this preseason a lot, we've talked about how the Saints sneakily have built some pretty good and varied weapons. But the question was, like, would you be able to take advantage of the weapons with the offensive line and be able to hold up? At least in this sample size, the answer to both of that was yes. Carr spread the ball around, managed to find a bunch of different guys. I mean, go rewatch the touchdown where, first off, the offensive line gave him forever. You see Carr work through his entire progression before flipping back to Kirkwood at the end and delivering that little dime over the top. So already you see him spreading the ball out, and then you see a message already in the locker room of, look, we don't care who, or at least is what he's trying to push, right? And I don't know if he's talking to guys like Mike Thomas or maybe others, but like, it's like, look, we don't care who's going to catch the ball. The bottom line is we're going to all have to be willing to do what we need to do to be successful. So, I mean, it was just a really, really fantastic start for this Saints offense. And it feels like a bit of validation over some of the hype in terms of the varied weapons that they put together.
Yeah, because you had the weapons, and you look around and you have the tight ends. I mean, we saw Foster out there as well. It was really good to see him back out there after the offseason, and we didn't really know what that was going to be. And now to see him out there in a Saints uniform is great. But you have multiple tight ends. You've got multiple receivers. You've got multiple backs. I mean, you have every weapon. You have an offensive line that you still have questions about, but they're first-round talents. Yeah. Now, that doesn't always mean anything, but you have, I mean, I think, 4 first-rounders and a second-rounder on your starting offensive line if Penning's in there?
McCoy second, Penning. I mean, I guess Pete, even though Hurst started this game.
Ruiz,
and then, and Ramczyk. Yeah.
So, true. I mean, that's draft capital right there.
That's
so
crazy.
You at least have the talent there. Now, if you have one injury, you get a little nervous.
Hurst, you're pretty good. I mean, you can handle.
Yeah, but then your depth goes away.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's nice to have that ace in your pocket until you have to use it. Then it's like, oh, what's after that? Because then you have Throckmorton, you have Young, you have a lot of young players that have not shown that they could go out there and do it. So kind of like we talk about with LSU and defensive back, like you feel good about it unless you have an injury. Kind of the same situation for the Saints offensive line. But initially, if you stay healthy there, it's a unit that has Jimmys and Joes all over the place. Now, you have to have a quarterback that knows how to use those. And game one in the preseason, it looks great. Not good. It looked great. I mean, it looked like down the field, you've got a true pro back there at quarterback, and everything looked great. They spread the ball out. That's who the Saints have to be. If the Saints want to be successful, that's who they have to be this year.
I agree. And to follow up in the O-line, again, I thought that Penning, besides the false start, looked really solid out there at left tackle. And Derek Carr's 8 dropbacks. Only got pressured one time. Maybe most importantly, he had over 2.5 seconds to throw on 6 of his 8 dropbacks. Shout out Nick Underhill for that little nugget in New Orleans football. Although, not having no Chris Jones probably helps in that regard, given that the Chiefs' incredible interior defensive lineman is still holding out for more money. But and then I mean, like I said, I loved the beautiful blocking on the screen pass to Kamara, the touchdown pass. So very pleased with what you saw out of the offensive line thus far. I love the defense coming up with a big 4th-and-1 stop to start. And Kalen Saunders doing the worm, and Cam Jordan faking a knee injury like a troll before, ninja flipping up, showing that he's still young and he's still got it. I thought the crowd looked juicy. Smart, you called the game. How full? What was the dome like?
There was a lot of Chiefs fans, but it was loud. Maybe like 75% full, which is solid for a preseason game.
Dude. What about how was the new dome renovations? I didn't look into it much. I saw one Twitter video showing new concourses and aisles that looked massive.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I didn't spend much time on the concourse, honestly, but even the elevators going to the press box are bigger, more spacious. You could tell they made some significant renovations.
Hell yeah, man. And then, hey, how about this? You win the game, which I know doesn't really matter, but you did kind of win it in a very fun way. That pick by Kyle Phillips with a minute left. If you missed it, if you want to play Taylor, it's actually in there under what a play by Kyle Phillips. But that pick where Chiefs try to run a screen, you're down by 1 because it's a preseason, so you go for 2, right? You try to win the game. You're down by 1. Oh, by the way, also like seeing Jay Kaner lead that drive after kind of struggling, lead that game on the line, potentially game-winning drive. But then you're still down by 1 minute left, like you're going to lose. Chiefs try to run a screen, and Kyle Phillips tips it to himself, the big man with the pick. And then that sets up the other rookie. I believe Group a rookie? Group?
Yeah, from Notre Dame.
How do you pronounce his name, Mario?
I believe it's Group.
It is Group?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's from Notre Dame.
And then that sets up Group, which, how about that, dude? You're a rookie, and your first preseason game, Jake, they give you a chance to. So rare in the preseason to have a game this close, or that it's even this situation sets up. But as a rookie, you get a chance to kick the walk-off game winner. He nails it. And then because it's fun, everybody mobs him. Like, that's like, you know, he probably won't make the team because Will Lutz, even though Lutz did struggle last year, but he probably still won't make the team because of Lutz. But that's like, it's just an awesome moment that he'll have.
Something you'll always have.
Forever. He kicked a game winner in the Superdome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your first NFL action, you get a game winner. It doesn't matter how long you play. You remember your first NFL action and who you played against and what happened in that game. So he'll always have that. That was a cool moment. Great play by the D in there to get that interception. So, like, all in all, about as well as you possibly could have hoped that a preseason game would go for the Saints. Outside of, let's see what Kendre Miller's injury is going to be. Like, first initial reports, sprained knee, which that's still nothing. That can keep you out 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And when you're a rookie, you miss that much camp. We always talk about it. You miss 3 weeks, you miss basically 6 months of camp, of just the mental reps that you get. And so the good thing is, so, you know, AK is not going to play the first 3 games. We know that. So if Kendre Miller is out, you did bring Kareem Hunt in. So you didn't sign him. No one else has signed him. So I wonder if that is a move that could be made today if it is, in fact, a sprained knee and you're going to miss multiple weeks. Because now you're talking about if you suited up today, like if you had game 1 today, you would have Jamal Williams and Merriweather, who played yesterday at running back.
That's it's crazy given how many running backs you actually feel like you have on this team. But I guess that's just how it works when you got suspensions and just with the NFL.
Yeah, Benjamin gets hurt last week, and then if Miller's hurt this week or it's severe enough, then you go out, you got to make a move, and you got to go bring in someone. It doesn't have to be Kareem Hunt, but if you only have Jamal Williams up as your only veteran, that would make sense.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.